Good day, ma'am and sir. I'm Kimberly Baswell from BSN 2B. So what I'm going to perform now is the Fundic height measurement, Leopolds maneuver, and auscultation of fetal heart rate. So we do this assessment because it is important to assess the fetal growth throughout the pregnancy. It can also help the family to be prepared when they have knowledge about it. It can also help the mother to accept and understand what are the changes that are happening in her body. Assessment. Determine the need for Leopolds maneuver. Assess the client's overall condition. Determine when the client last voided or was last tested for urine analysis. Determine immunization history. If there is a history of abnormal fetal presentation in the family, and the last menstrual period and expected date of confinement. Allow adequate time to prepare for the procedures. This must be performed during an antenatal checkup. Here are the equipments needed for the procedures: stethoscope, measuring tape, draw sheet or top sheet, and antibacterial hand spray. Implementation. Check the physician's order to verify the procedure. Before performing the procedure, introduce yourself, verify the client's identity using agency protocol, explain to the client what you are going to do, why it is necessary, and how they can participate. Good day, ma'am. I'm Kimberly Baswell from NEST, and I will be your student nurse from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. So, may I know your name, ma'am?
Elisa Bastel,
And your birth date?
April 14, 1968.
Okay, ma'am. So, what are we going to do now is the Fundic height measurement, Leopolds maneuver, and the auscultation of the fetal heart rate. So we do the Fundic height measurement to measure your estimated age of gestation, or what we call the AOG, and also the expected date of your delivery, which is the EDD, and also the fetal growth or your baby's growth in your womb. So next is we do the Leopolds maneuver to systematically observe and palpate the presentation and position of your baby. So we can know if your baby is in the right or correct position. And then lastly is the fetal heart rate, which is, we need to do this. It is one of the good way to know if your baby is in the good condition or if she or he is doing well. Provides client's privacy and ask the client to empty the bladder first before the procedure. Provide for client's privacy by drawing the curtain around the bed. Before we proceed into the procedure, ma'am, please empty your bladder first.
Okay.
Perform hand hygiene and observe other appropriate infection control procedures. Obtaining Fundic height. Place the client into a dorsal recumbent position, then place a pillow under the client's head for comfort. Place a rolled small towel or pillow under the client's right hip and ask the client to be still with both arms on the side. So, ma'am, I'm just going to place you in a dorsal recumbent position.
Okay.
Okay, ma'am. ma'am, please be still and put your both hands on the side. Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Drape the client with the draw sheet and expose from below the breast up to the symphysis pubis. Ma'am, I'm just going to expose your tummy, okay?
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. Inspect the client for the following: scars, diastasis recti. Diastasis recti. It is very common during the following pregnancy. This is because the uterus stretches the muscle in the abdomen to accommodate the growing baby. Hernia. Hernia happens in pregnancy because of the increased pressure pregnancy puts on the abdomen. Linea nigra. Linea nigra is a natural part of pregnancy, but it is believed to be related to the changing or imbalance of hormones. Striae gravidarum. Striae gravidarum are atrophic linear scars that represent one of the most common connective tissue during pregnancy. Contour of the abdomen, state of the umbilicus, and skin condition. Determine the fundal height using the ulnar side of the palm. 12 weeks, level of the symphysis pubis. 16 weeks, middle of symphysis pubis and umbilicus. 20 weeks, 1 to 2 finger breadths below the umbilicus. 24 weeks, level of the umbilicus. 32 weeks, halfway between the umbilicus and xiphoid process. 36 weeks, level of xiphoid process. And 40 weeks, 2 to 3 finger breadths below the xiphoid process if lightening occurs. Measure the fundal height using the measuring tape. Place the zero line of the tape on the superior border of the symphysis pubis. Now, ma'am, I'm just going to measure the fundic height of your tummy. Stretch the tape across the abdomen's contour to the top of the fundus along the midline. Leopolds maneuver. Instruct the client to relax the abdominal muscle by bending the knees slightly and do the relaxation breathing. Reinforce the explanations given earlier. So, ma'am, when we do the Leopolds maneuver, please relax your abdominal muscles and do the relaxation breathing, ma'am. So now, ma'am, we're going to do the Leopolds maneuver. So as I explained earlier, we do the Leopolds maneuver to systematically observe and palpate the presentation and position of your baby if your baby is in the correct or right position. Perform Leopolds maneuver. First maneuver, stand at the client's side and face the client. Palpate the fundus using both hands. Curve the fingers around the uterus top and feel the fetal part lying in the fundus. Use palm, palpate size, shape, Consistency and mobility of the fundus fetal part. Use the flat palmar surface of the fingers and not the fingertips during palpation. And keep the fingers of hands together. Apply smooth and gentle deep pressure as firm as necessary. So ma'am, this is the first maneuver. Second maneuver. Place the hands on either side of the abdomen along the midline between the symphysis pubis and fundus. Move the hands on the side of the abdomen. With one hand in place to steady the uterus, use the other hand to palpate the uterus opposite side with the firm circular motions. Repeat the maneuver to the other side of the abdomen. Third maneuver, continue facing the client. Grasp the lower abdomen portion immediately above the symphysis pubis between the thumb and middle fingers of one of your hand. Fourth maneuver. Face the client's feet and place hands palmar surface on each side of the client's abdomen. Use both hands and palpate the fetal head by pressing downward gently with your fingertips about 2 inches above the inguinal ligament. Omit the fourth maneuver if the fetus in breech presentation. The maneuver is performed in a cephalic presentation. Fetal heart rate. Place the bell side of the stethoscope chest piece on the fetus convex portion closest to the anterior uterine wall. Listen by pressing in firmly and very gently. Count the full minute holding the stethoscope chest piece while the other hand feels for the client's radial pulse. So right now, ma'am, I'm just going to auscultate your baby's heartbeat.
Aside from stethoscope, we can also use the Doppler ultrasound device to hear the baby's heart rate.
Here is the sound of fetal blood flow. It is a much faster pulse than yours. The fetal heartbeat at only 10 weeks. Notice how fast the heart rate is at this stage. Some fetal heart sounds at 16 weeks. The sharper sounds are the baby's heart valves already opening and closing. Some fetal heart sounds at 35 weeks. You can notice that repositioning the probe picks up different sounds. Maternal sounds. Your arterial sounds are at the same pace as your heartbeat. Venous sounds vary with many things, like breathing. Placental sounds, often said to sound like the wind in the trees. Fetal movement. Maybe your baby is waving at you, or just getting more comfortable.
Evaluation and documentation. Document the procedure, including the test performed and resulted in client's record using forms or checklists supplemented by narrative notes when appropriate. Notify the healthcare facility responsible regarding result. Notify the clients regarding the findings. Perform a detailed follow-up based on findings deviated from expected or normal for the client. Teach the client how to do proper follow-up and provide other appropriate instructions.